The latest Wall Street Journal NBC News poll could spell bad news for Hillary Clinton when it comes to turnout in November's election. WSJ national politics editor Aaron Zitner joins us now from our Washington bureau with details. Hi, Aaron.
Hello, Lee.
Okay, so our poll points to two very important sectors of the electorate that have been turned off by this campaign. Tell me about that.
That's right. We find indications that turnout could well be down this year among voters overall, but particularly among African Americans and younger voters, which would be bad news for Hillary Clinton.
Okay, but there is some good news. 80%, 82% of Hispanic voters say they are certain to vote. So that's good for Hillary Clinton, isn't it?
That's right. Let me set the table a little bit here, if you will. There's a big question on the table. Who's going to vote? Who's really going to come out this time? It's always hard to tell, but it's particularly hard to tell this year, and there are two broad theories. One is, this has been a wild campaign, very dispiriting to a lot of people. We've talked about Donald Trump's alleged unwanted sexual advances, whether he paid taxes. We're talking about Hillary Clinton's emails. We're talking about everything other than how the government can help people and how to make life better for everyone. And a lot of people are going to say, to heck with all of this, I'm out of here, and they won't vote. And if turnout falls, that potentially, maybe, could help Donald Trump. It could be that once you pull out the dispirited voters, you have a more energized Trump vote than Clinton vote. That's a theory. The second broad theory is, no, wait a minute. This has been an ugly, anger-filled campaign, and anger is very motivating. People who are angry come out to vote. There's anger on both sides. These are the two most disliked candidates in modern history. And that's going to drive people to the polls. People will come out to vote against Donald Trump and vote against Hillary Clinton. That's why our poll is important. In the turnout up or turnout down question, we're finding signs of turnout down, particularly among a few Democratic constituencies, rather than turnout up.
Okay, so African American voters and millennials, who you mentioned when we opened the segment, are critical basis for Hillary, aren't they? So isn't that going to help Trump to some extent if that really plays out?
If this plays out, that would be bad news. We know that the Clinton campaign has worried about both groups. That's why you're seeing Elizabeth Warren, a darling of the left, Bernie Sanders, who energized so many young voters during the primaries, out there on college campuses talking directly to young people. Michelle Obama in Northern Virginia at George Mason University talking directly to young people. And Donald Trump giving a speech the other day where he tried to address millennials. He said his speech was aimed at millennials. They're both aware that interest in the election is down among young people. Just to give you the numbers, we find that 72% of the electorate, of registered voters, call themselves highly interested. We ask them to rate their interest on a scale of 1 to 10. 72% of voters call themselves a 9 or a 10, so we call those highly interested voters. It's only 54% among voters under age 35. It's only 65% among African Americans. Both of those are way down from the levels of 2008 and down from 2012.
And how much concern is there about the methodology that's used with polling and the reliability of polling, that they can't reach everyone because of the antiquated approaches that are used?
I have a lot of faith in this poll, and I think that we do a good job of reaching people. I don't have any questions about our methodology to make sure that we reach enough young people. We have a very large sample of our poll that's done by cell phone. What I think the point of caution we might bring to this, what if I were a Democratic campaign strategist, what I would be saying to help me sleep at night is that this self-professed interest is not a perfect barometer of whether people will vote. Now, I will tell you broadly that when our poll finds more people rating themselves highly interested, it turns out in that year that voter turnout rises. And when we see a fall off in the number of highly motivated voters, turnout falls. But you can overread the data. And that's what happened to Mitt Romney in 2012. His pollsters saw a decline in enthusiasm among Hispanics and among young voters and concluded that they would not vote, when in fact both of those groups held their share as a percentage of the electorate, and we didn't see a big decline, or we didn't see any greater decline among young voters and Hispanics than among other voting groups, even though they were showing signs of less enthusiasm ahead of the election. So a Democrat would say an unenthusiastic vote counts as much as an enthusiastic vote. Don't overread the data.
Aaron Zitner, great work on the poll. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lee.